The rain hadn't stopped all day. By the time Hannah left her shift at the diner, her shoes were soaked and her jacket clung to her shoulders like a wet rag. She muttered curses under her breath as she ran to the bus stop, her umbrella useless against the downpour. The street was quiet, too quiet for midnight on a Thursday. No cars, no people, just her, the hiss of rain, and the buzz of the streetlight above her. When the bus finally groaned to a halt in front of her, Hannah felt more relief than she should have. The doors squealed open and she stepped into the stale warmth of the vehicle. The driver didn't greet her. He was an old man with skin the color of parchment, his eyes milky with cataracts. He stared straight ahead, jaw slack, as though he were only half awake. Evening, Hannah said awkwardly, dropping her fare into the box. The driver gave the faintest nod, but said nothing. Hannah glanced around. The bus was nearly empty. Only one other passenger sat in the very back, a woman in a gray coat, hands folded neatly in her lap. She could only see the outline of her face in the dim light, head tilted slightly too far to one side. Choosing a seat in the middle, Hannah tugged her jacket off and tried to settle in. The steady drone of the engine mixed with the rhythm of the rain against the windows. For a while, she simply listened, exhaustion beginning to weigh on her. But after a few minutes, she realized something strange. The streets outside didn't look familiar. She leaned closer to the window, frowning. The bus had passed her neighborhood stop already. She was sure of it. Instead of downtown lights, she saw blocks of empty houses, most dark, some with windows boarded up. The further the bus went, the less there seemed to be. She checked the time on her phone. 12:47 a.m.? She should have been home 10 minutes ago. "Excuse me," she called, standing and moving up toward the driver. "Did we miss—" Without turning his head, the driver raised one hand, palm out, as if to silence her. His voice was low and hoarse. "Next stop." That was all. Uneasy, Hannah returned to her seat. She tried to convince herself it was fine, that she just zoned out. The driver probably knew the route better than she did. Still, her stomach knotted. She glanced back toward the woman in the gray coat. The woman hadn't moved. She still sat perfectly straight, hands folded neatly in her lap. But this time, she caught a glimpse of her face. Pale, almost gray. Her lips hung slightly open, and her eyes— Hannah's breath hitched. Her eyes weren't right. They looked blank, white, as if the pupils had been scrubbed out. Hannah snapped her gaze forward, heart thudding. Maybe she imagined it. The light was terrible. It had to be a trick of the flickering fluorescence. Her phone buzzed in her pocket. Grateful for the distraction, she pulled it out. A text message. Unknown number. The message read, "Don't talk to her." Hannah froze. A chill spread down her spine. Her throat went dry. She swallowed hard, looking around the bus. The driver's head was still tilted slightly toward the windshield, both hands gripping the wheel. He hadn't moved. Her phone buzzed again. "Don't look at her either." Her blood ran cold. She couldn't help herself. Slowly, she turned her head just enough to glance at the back. The woman was standing. Hannah's stomach dropped. The woman swayed slightly in the aisle, her head still tilted at that unnatural angle, her white eyes locked on Hannah. She didn't blink. Her mouth opened wider, as if trying to speak, but no sound came out. Hannah jerked her eyes away, clutching her phone tight. Her hands trembled so badly she almost dropped it. Another buzz. Another message. "When she touches you, you'll never get off." Her chest tightened. Her pulse pounded in her ears. She wanted to scream, wanted to demand answers from the driver, but fear pinned her in place. She heard movement. Slow, deliberate steps down the aisle. The lights flickered. The air grew colder. A faint rotten smell drifted toward her, like wet soil and mold. Anna held her breath, staring at her phone, willing the steps to stop. Her screen lit up again. "She's behind you." Her heart nearly exploded. She squeezed her eyes shut, fighting the urge to turn. Her whole body trembled as the stench of damp earth thickened around her. Then, a hand touched her shoulder. It was ice cold, clammy, fingers digging in with unnatural strength. Hannah screamed. The lights went out. For a moment, there was only the roar of her pulse and the dark. When the fluorescents blinked back on, the bus was silent. Empty. The woman in gray was gone. So was Hannah. The driver kept humming softly to himself as the bus rumbled forward, deeper into the woods. The road stretched on, black and endless, until the vehicle pulled up to a lonely stop, with no sign, no shelter, no light. The doors hissed open, and someone new stepped inside.